Hi everyone, I'm Brian Hetrick, the spirulina guru. And last week I had someone who is totally unfamiliar with my lifestyle ask me what's my favorite kind of fish. And my reply was better than tuna. And they never heard of that before. They asked me what's in it. So today I'm going to show you my recipe on how to make my favorite better than tuna. So for today's recipe, we're going to be using the food processor with the S blade. And we're going to start with 2 cups of raw sunflower seeds. So these are not roasted, these are not candied, and they're not salted. So 2 cups of these raw sunflower seeds into the food processor. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. So that is about 1 lemon. We'll give you 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I like to use my hand citrus squeezer for my lemon juice, and I'm just trimming the ends off of the lemon, and then I'm going to squeeze the lemon juice right into the food processor. And next we're going to add a teaspoon of mustard. So I'm using organic mustard here today. And we're going to add that to my food processor. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of Bragg's liquid aminos. Bragg's liquid aminos is a low sodium soy sauce substitute, gluten-free. And then about 1/4 cup of pickle juice. So I like Bubby's pickle juice. So we're going to add that. And then we're going to process for about 30 seconds or so the mixture of the sunflower seeds and the pickle juice and the mustard and the lemon juice. And I'm going to stop it about halfway through, about 15 seconds, and sort of scrape the sides of the food processor container to make sure all the sunflower seeds get properly incorporated into the pate. And then we start it up again for about another 15 seconds. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds of processing the pate in the food processor. The last ingredient we're going to add is some fresh dill. So I like to put this in last so that it doesn't really get liquefied, but we still have some chunks of dill in the pate. So I'm going to use about 1/2 cup of this fresh dill and add it into the food processor. And then we're going to switch it back on for just about another 10 or 15 seconds. Okay, we're finished with the food processor. Now for the next step, we're going to need a large mixing bowl. So I'm going to take the pate contents out of the food processor and put them into the mixing bowl here. So the interesting thing about sunflower seeds is when you run them in the food processor with a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of pickle juice and some mustard, then the sunflower seeds almost like a mayonnaise sort of consistency to it, which is perfect for our better than tuna. So as you can see, the dill is still recognizable. It's just sort of chopped and added into the pate. Next, we're going to need to add some chopped vegetables. So first, I'm going to add about a half a cup of this chopped celery. So a half a cup of celery chopped you're going to need one stalk of celery about 12 inches long. So I'm chopping my celery fine. It doesn't really have to be minced for this step, but it should be chopped into very small chunks. And then I'm going to add my chopped celery to my better than tuna pate in the mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to add about a quarter of a cup of chopped sweet onion. So just like the celery, I'm chopping the sweet onion fine. It doesn't have to be minced, but it should be cut into very small chunks. And then I'm going to add that to my mixing bowl along with the celery and with the better than tuna pate. Next, we're going to add about 1/2 of a red bell pepper. And this, again, is going to be chopped fine. So 1/2 of a medium red bell pepper is going to yield about 1 cup of finely chopped red bell pepper. And we're going to add that to our mixing bowl here. And then finally, we're going to add some chopped pickles. And then I'm going to add my finely chopped pickles to my mixing bowl here. So I'm using 2 medium-sized pickles, which will yield about 1 cup of chopped pickles. So we're adding color to our pate here. So we not only have the beige of the sunflower seeds, but we also have 2 different shades of green. We have the bright green of the dill, and then we have sort of like a light green of the pickles, and then we have the white of the sweet onion, and we have the red of the red bell pepper. So we're actually eating the rainbow, and that makes an eye appeal. We're also adding nutrition because each one of these vegetables has a different nutritional profile. And now we're going to mix it all together. Now for plating, I'm going to start with a butternut lettuce leaf and place it on the base, and then I'm going to add a slice of tomato on top of the lettuce leaf. Like that. And then I'm going to add about a quarter of a cup of our Better Than Tuna pate mixture on top of the tomato. Now for a garnish, I'm going to add a little bit of alfalfa sprouts on top. And then we're going to top it all off with an olive. And the olive is going to be skewered on a toothpick here. And there we have it. So we have some raw vegan, Better Than Tuna sliders. This recipe is in my book, and the book is called Natural Vibrant Health Raw Foods, and this book is a collection of over 60 of my favorite raw vegan recipes. And this book is available at spirulinaguru.com. That's spirulinaguru.com. So thanks very much, everybody, for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.